Okay, so let's take a tour of Dad's garage. Dad's garage is this absolute homage to beauty and sentimentality and practicality. He makes beautiful little holders and lovingly nestles little tools and doodads and things all over that he has picked up as gifts, as mementos, for the presents that his friends have given him. And he has stories behind all of it. The Shrine Circus. I have such a clear, happy memory of that in Erie and Lawrence Park. The Knoxville World's Fair. I was in middle school and I was completely dazzled. I thought it was incredible. This is like some trinket that he made for fishing that like he can bag fish eggs with or something, and he made it all by hand. And of course everything up in the rafters. The old sled for the grandchildren that I never gave him. All of the old boom box that he finds uses for. Every time anybody says, do you have a pole? Do you have a piece of wood that's like this? And he's like, yeah, and he goes up into the rafters. Little pieces of carpeting and scrap suede. And it's all stuff that is part of my dad always being able to fix anything and just appreciating every little, like, who knows what this rusted piece of something is, but he'll know where he got it. This came out of the old grist mill barn at the edge of such and such creek right before they tore it down, and it was the something plate that people used to use to do this such and such task with this such and such machine, and he'll know like all the stories and details behind it. He'll know where it came from, whose relative gave it to him. He sold some of his truly valuable colonial iron that used to be up in this area at the last garage sale. Somebody saw it on the wall. He knew that he wanted to be moving, so he said yes, and I could tell it made him depressed. All of this. So I made him that, I think, when I was at one of the Baker Park summer camp sessions. A little plaster of Paris doodad. Of course, the front half of this garage is the old original barn from the house, the 1920s house. It used to be just the living room. This is his collection of walking sticks, including this beauty that he has embedded, Mom's creepy tooth, and actual raw emeralds, and he's got like a little antique plate that he molded to fit it, and then he'll put like some little cheap but pretty trinkets on just because he appreciates them. He made that. So he's reframed this door twice to make it fit perfectly. Muggery's guns. And of course, his little lock collection. So cool. He'll have stories behind all of these, at what flea market he picked them up at, what estate sale, whose Lithuanian uncle gave it to him. So I gave him that garden trolley, I think, when I was in grade school, and he still uses it. That's an old ammo box that he keeps the rat poison in. That's where he keeps the car stuff. All the stickers that he picks up from the shows that he goes to, or the places and the things, the old bits and bobs. And it was, to my total shock, that I was like in my 30s, and I opened this one day looking for something, and my old infant Lammy stuffed animal was in here. And I can't tell you how touched I was. I had forgotten about the Lammy until I saw it. I didn't even remember it. But then I saw it, and like the memory just hit you like a ton of bricks. Like, they have pictures of me with it all like new and fresh before the fur all wore off of it. And he had kept it when I outgrew it, and it was no longer my favored stuffed animal. That's my dad. So sentimental. But I was older before I learned this Japanese concept called wabi-sabi, which is the absolute appreciation of things that are old and worn and imperfect, but still useful, and the beauty that comes with being repaired and repurposed and kept through generations and through time. And that is so my dad. It's just, he's the most wabi-sabi thing I've ever known. Not that he appreciates Japanese culture, deeply scarred by World War II stories with that. And the shop bell. Every time I'd hear that sleeping in the back room of the house in the mornings, I'd know I was listening to Dad heading out to his shop. Layers of little buckets and containers, and he knows what's in all of them. These are where he keeps the oily rags so that he can burn them in the chimarrillo, help start his fires that he loves in the evenings. He's even got our old cross-country skis. Nobody even wears those bindings anymore, but he never really felt the need to trade up to the newest thing every season. It was about keeping what we had, if it worked, if it fit. think these little things, I don't think those are mine. Those must be Kira's. Little holders. An old mailbox door that he put a little trout thing in and made cute. Little shelves that he made everywhere to fit everything. And there's another old sled. That one's Grandpa Tuck's up there. Grandpa and Tuck and I rode that down one of the Lawrence Park golf course hills and broke the middle slat, so that's why the slat's a different color in the middle, because Grandpa was sitting on the sled with me and broke it. He loves archery. He's got all these little games for the backyard. And his, oh no, they're home. Damn, wanted to finish. His little collections, Grandpa Lindsay's, steam engine models. My old Barbie boat that he now plays with a toddler up the street. Lets him play with it. The few engines that he hasn't sold yet. Probably soon will. His light collection. He loves oil lamps. The old water skis I learned to water ski on. Weigh 4,000 pounds. From the Cypress Gardens in Florida. And of course the awesome kayak rack that he built for the kayaks in the summer.